We had Seagate was another neighborhood, which
is another closed neighborhood.
That's right.
But this one's actually gated, I guess hence the name.
Yes.
But as opposed to Breezy Point, which called itself a gated community without gates or something.
Right.
Seagate actually has gates.
Yes.
And yeah, I haven't been able to get in there yet. Maybe we'll try again later today. Mike, you went in there.
That's right.
The first day when I was not with you.
The first day, which again, we did a Tuesday through Saturday this week in order to give ourselves a 3-day weekend prior to this. I went the first day just by myself on Tuesday. There's a lighthouse inside the community of Seagate, which I didn't know anything about, but I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And there are 2 entrances to Seagate. One is a car entrance and one of them is a pedestrian entrance. I passed the car entrance and immediately thought, uh-oh, this doesn't look good. And then I walked down a few streets to the pedestrian entrance and I went up to the security guard and I said, I have a question. And he goes, I have an answer. And I said, well, I hope so. I'm looking to see if maybe I could go in to see the lighthouse. And he said, no, the lighthouse is private. You can't go in and see it. But are you just going to look around? And I said, yes. And then he gestured with his hand for me to go in. Which is to say, he didn't say I could go in. He just
pointed at the gate, right?
He just pointed at the gate and made a motion, which to me, I think was, in case I did anything wrong, he could claim that he didn't actually say I could go in.
Right.
But I respected and appreciated the fact that he let me go in, and so I walked down there. It was not a particularly impressive lighthouse. The most interesting thing about it was that it actually exists between 2 different houses.
Right.
So it's been there since the 1890s, and it's kind of like one of those scaffolding type lighthouses where there's not a big structure. It's mostly just about the light. But I took some pictures, and I was a little upset in some ways that Jessie hadn't been there and that she couldn't be with me. But at the same time, I didn't know if I was going to get another opportunity to go see it. So you take it when you get it.
Well,
and So now we've tried to go on 2 separate occasions with 2 separate security guards, and both of them have denied us access.
Yeah,
so.
But we also haven't, the first day we didn't try. The first day I was back with you, we didn't try because you were wearing your camo jumpsuit, and we felt like we weren't going to be allowed access while you're wearing a camo jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So then the next day we tried when we were with my uncle, and I didn't really want to push it because we were also just walking with my uncle and having a nice time, and I didn't want to get into some sort of fight with a security guard over seeing a lighthouse that I don't really need to see. But now I'm I just asked, hey, can we go see the lighthouse? He said, no, it's private. I said, okay. And we left. But I feel like now I don't know which method. The gate, there were people going into the gate without talking to security, which makes me feel like we could potentially just go in through the gate and not talk to security. But if we do that and they stop us, then we're already on our heels.
Right.
Whereas if we go in and we try to say, oh, we really want to see this lighthouse, maybe they'll let us in. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see at the conclusion of this podcast. So you might have to ask us personally if we ended up making it in or not. I don't know if it'll be in next week's podcast. But I do not think that going in there with cameras and microphones is really going to ensure that we gain access.
I don't think that's going to work. I did look it up because I was trying to see if it was a public space, the lighthouse itself, and it looks like the family that ran the lighthouse, the light keepers, or is that what they're called? Sure. They used to give tours.
Yeah.
And they had it for almost 100 years or something. And now they don't live in New York anymore. They moved out, and I think it said that they sold it to the Coast Guard. So it's not, they don't have any reason to let people
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
They don't have to, there's no legality there.
Yeah.
There's no reason that they have to.
Yeah.
But the people that used to own it seem like they still want to be involved. Like they were like, unfortunately, we don't live there anymore, so we can't let people in, but contact us and we'll tell you all about it. And
Yeah.
so that's sweet to see.
Yeah. As far as the neighborhood itself, from what I gathered by walking in there, it was much more diverse racially and economically than what Breezy Point was. It
Yeah.
seemed to be a lot more of an accessible neighborhood. It just had a gate for some reason, which, isn't something that Jesse and I find an ideal living situation. But
Yeah.
I guess for some people that's something that they like. I mean,
Yeah, I don't find it appealing. I wouldn't want to be in that myself. But I also, there's something about, there's just a gate, and it's very clear that there's a gate, and it's very clear that there's security, that I don't feel offended in the same way that I did at Breezy Point.
uh-huh.
At Breezy Point, it felt like they almost like wanted you to go in so that they could treat you like shit. Whereas here, it's like, no, they don't want you to go in. And then if you do make it in, then it's fine. Then you're just on your own.
Yeah.
They're not going to like be carting around looking for you to pull you over.
Yeah. Well, it's unclear if I didn't see any extra security force driving around the neighborhoods like we did
Yeah.
when we were in Breezy Point. But yes, it did feel a lot more like entrapment or something in a way over there, which it didn't at Seagate. It just seemed like there were guards stationed at the front, and that's it.
Yeah.
Once you get in, that's the entirety of it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm curious I guess we'll find out. This is only the second community that we've found that's like that in New York. And I'm curious how many there are. It does seem like, just in general, it's kind of a strange place to have a gated community. Just after, especially what we just talked about, how it's so accessible, it's so easy to get from one neighborhood to another.
Yeah.
There's sort of like borders that are just like natural borders based on like the languages that people are speaking, or the type of food that's sold in the deli, or the people standing on the corners, like what the vibe is, and like, like just like the way that they're speaking to each other, or whatever it is. You sort of like traverse through the different neighborhoods, and you like know where you are as you go. So it seems so unnecessary to have these gates. It's like, I don't know. And like, I don't know. It's not how I would want to live.
yeah.